reckoning is fast approaching, guys. Get out while you still can. Why not practice Scientology with the free zoners? The free zoners don't abuse their members like your church does. The leader doesn't beat star.
Special K and hat with a duvet. What a great combination. Oh, where are these people coming? Beware of Scientology. Scientology is a criminal enterprise. Hey guys, beware of Scientology.
Yeah, why is it dangerous?
Scientology is dangerous for a number of reasons. Just to give you kind of the lowdown on it, basically it takes people in, it tells you you have problems, the only solution to those problems is Scientology. It will then proceed to sell you a series of self-help courses, some of which is called auditing, which is basically it puts you into almost hypnotic trance. When you're doing this, it brainwashes you. So you begin to sort of you won't read anything critical about Scientology. A lot of people who actually get into the organisation and leave commit suicide because they're convinced when inside that without Scientology they'll amount to nothing. On top of that, it forces female members to have abortions. The leader, David Miscavige, beats staff physically. A lot of people, when they get to the top, leave because all of the stuff that's promised to them just isn't true. It charges you an absolute fortune. They've got things called RPF camps, which stands for Rehabilitation Project Force, and these are literally prison camps for the Scientologists. So if people start to sort of have doubts about the organisation and this is picked up on, they might be sent to one of these RPF camps. They'll be forced to do manual labour, eat and work in terrible conditions, sleep in terrible conditions, and basically not allowed to talk to each other. There's cases of people being chained to pipes to stop them from leaving. The more you look into it, the more disgusted you'll get. They break up families through their disconnection policy, and they also do it to friends and whatnot. So let's say you got into Scientology and you suddenly said, hang on a second, I'm a little worried about this. If you were to pass that along to the church, they would tell you to handle your friends. What would then happen is if you couldn't successfully convince her that Scientology was fine, they would instigate their disconnection policy, which basically means you wouldn't be able to have any contact with her, you wouldn't be able to get in touch with him, and there's thousands of cases out there at the moment, and going back decades of this happening. Other things, infiltrate the United States government, extortion, fraud, fined over £500,000 the other month in France. It just goes on and on.
Is it catching on in the UK?
No, I don't think it's catching on anywhere at the moment. I mean, some of sort of the developing world, they are sort of trying to push out some of their front groups. It's like a couple of cards.
Because I visited I think it's the headquarters, and it's near...
Queen Victoria Street.
Yeah,
nice building.
Very big. Very plush inside.
Oh yeah.
They didn't push me into doing anything really.
No.
Just looked around the museum.
Okay.
And it said some crazy stuff about how volunteers from Scientology in Africa do 4 times as much work as other volunteers.
That's totally ludicrous.
And they had this graph showing number of hours worked, and it's UNICEF and the real charities, and then
really?
Scientology 4 times as much.
Well, we get leaked a lot of their kind of internal stuff by people who either still receive it or who are inside the organisation and disgruntled. And one of the things we got leaked was, because obviously they consider themselves to be a religion, it was this very entertaining poster. We have all the kind of the most significant religious influences and people throughout history. So you've got Buddha, Jesus, and all these other people basically on the mountain. And right at the top of the mountain is a Scientologist. So they think of themselves very highly, but things they exaggerate and lie through their absolute teeth. They say they've got 8 million members, but it's completely ludicrous. I think that's more of just anyone who's ever done one of their tests or something like that. So.
Have you ever put yourself forward?
The thing is, the reason I kind of got involved was because I sort of was walking down the street and they offered me a free stress test. And it was at a point in my life when I was quite sort of low and therefore sort of vulnerable. And I thought, I might go along with this, but at the time it used to say Church of Scientology there. And I thought, hang on a sec, why does it say church between Pret a Manger and a casino? So I went off and I looked into it, and as I looked into it, I was so relieved that I didn't sort of go along with it. And then sort of last year I started to just happen to look into it more and more. And the more I discovered, the more angry I got. And it got to the stage where I decided to basically join up with Anonymous. Obviously there's only 2 of us today, but at our monthly protest there's 20 to 30, and actually start to do something about it.
Oh, that's really great.
So, raise a bit of awareness and try our best, basically.
Alright, well, good luck.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, you too, guys. Take care.
We are Anonymous. We are Legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us. here 2 years now, we're not going away. Maybe you should look into some of the things we're talking about. There is a good reason. You're naive if you believe everything that's written negative is a lie. These things are written negative about the Church of Scientology because the people who leave and have the guts to actually post it have decided to speak out and tell the truth. Larry Anderson has left your organisation. He wants all of his money back. The face of Scientology has left Church of Scientology. Why is your shop so empty? Where are your 8 million members? You're meant to be the fastest growing quote-unquote religion in the world. More like the fastest growing criminal enterprise. You are aware that your numbers are shrinking dramatically. You don't have to give up your livelihood to help people on this planet. Hey, Martin! If anyone would like to ask Martin about his disconnection policy, I'm sure he'd be more than happy to answer. Google Operation Freakout, find out how the Church of Scientology tried to have a woman imprisoned or commit suicide. It doesn't work. I was discussing the Scientology tech with a Scientologist the other day, a free zoner, someone who practices your so-called religion outside of the Church of Scientology. We were both in agreement that L. Ron Hubbard was certainly a very smart man, but a complete paranoid schizophrenic at the same time. That's why he requested help from the Veteran Society after he got kicked out of the US Army. He was not a decorated war hero. He did many things that caused a lot of disruption in the US Navy. He died with psych drugs in his blood. Your war on psychiatry will never get you anywhere. Most people know that your organisation's ludicrous. Mr. Scavenge beats staff members. What justification can you give him for being able to punch people in the face? He's meant to be the head of your organisation. He's meant to be the example that the rest of you have to follow. You're a cult. You're a mind-controlled cult who's only interested in making money from its members, and you'll do anything to extort money through any means necessary.
Yes. Anti-Scientology. Anonymous, sir. Yeah? Oh, good man. Would you like a card or a leaflet?
We're not doing no. Hey, did I mention that?
Larry Anderson left last week, you know, he was trying to get his money back. You know the Scientology video, you ever seen it? He's the guy who used to be a $6 million man and
What, the main actor?
not the main actor, but he was like a sidekick to
Steve Austin.
Yeah, Larry Anderson used to run a load of game shows in America and stuff.
Right.
And he's the one who's in all their videos.
Right. Let me ask you why you do it. Have you got friends
what's
to it?
it's the suicides, the deaths, the abortion.
No, but I mean personally, have you got friends
We've met
who
lots
caught
of
up in it?
Yeah.
I've worked with Scientologists, but we've met a lot of the ex-Scientologists.
No, it's bad.
It's bad, yeah, it's very bad.
I mean, I've never been a part of it. The reason I sort of got involved was because I watched video after video, documentary after documentary of them basically just old people inside admitting to the fact that they tried to extort people for money, make them feel as bad as possible to get it, and then the fact that people commit suicide outside of it.
Talking to you with that mask on.
Huh?
It's really hard talking.
Yeah, no, I know, but the thing is, they've got a fair game policy. Anyone who just speaks critical of Scientology can be considered an enemy. And the founder, a science fiction writer, wrote a fair game policy saying these people can be lied, tricked, sued or destroyed under any means necessary. But
Yeah, they're a bunch of scum.
you've got it bang on the money.
The German government's quite good.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Take care, yeah? Oh.